I'm the Art Link instructor at the Music Connection Conservatory of Music and Art, and today I'm teaching you how to make salto. All you need is 3 ingredients: flour, salt, and a cup of water. So what you want to do is use a dry measure like this, and this is a cup of flour. When you measure it, and be sure your hands are clean and dry before you begin, and your table surface is clean and dry. You would scoop out 1 scoop of flour, level it off, and you would put that in your bowl. This is about the size of this bowl I have here. And then 1 cup of salt. Then what you're gonna do to make your salto is have a bowl. Stainless steel is good. At this point, you're gonna pour the flour and the salt in and mix it with your hands and combine the 2 dry ingredients. Then you will take a cup of water and slowly pour in a little at a time as you're mixing. If it's too wet, you can always take more flour and add it and mix it. So you want to get to the point where once you mix those 3, it gets to the point that it turns more into this kind of consistency of your salto. And this is how much that makes. So this one has been made, and I can knead it and work with it. When you're done making your dough, this is how it should turn out. And you want to keep it in an airtight container to keep it nice and tight in there. Okay, so I want to show you what we can do with the salto that we made. It'll be nice and pliable, and you will be able to make these kind of projects with that salto. So I made a heart pendant with ribbon, and I put a hole in it using a toothpick. And any of these others, I also use a toothpick and just pushed it around to the sides to create a nice size hole to feed the ribbon through. So that could be a Mother's Day gift. I also made this cute little votive holder with a flameless candle, nice and safe. And you can make this and put it out on your picnic table in your kitchen as a nice little gift too. Then I made some ornaments. And again, the heart here I shaped with my hands, free-formed it. The gingerbread, I happen to have the cookie cut out for it, so I could use that. And then I had a small gingerbread cookie. I just pushed it down a little bit. I didn't go all the way through because I just wanted to get the impression in. And I free-formed this into a rectangle like a cookie sheet. So this is supposed to look like baking a gingerbread cookie. And then I made a little bear with my bear cutout I pushed down too, and then had a circle I cut to create the circle all the way through. And then lastly, I did a horse ornament is another idea. With this one, I did take the back of my paintbrush and I created like the stitch effect all the way around the horse. In this, I had a horse cookie cutter and I pushed it down. So those are some ideas and examples. Now I did make one where I had my initial, and it didn't work out so good, so you can see what that can look like, but it should be hard once it's done cooking, dry and cool. And this could happen if it's too thick and it's hard, it's okay. It will be all right, but that you might want it to cook a little longer, okay, to create, so you don't have that. I'm gonna flour my surface. A clean kitchen table is perfect for this. Make sure you washed it and it's dry. Then I'm gonna take my salto out of my bowl that was in an airtight bowl with a lid, and I'm gonna just kind of knead it on the table. And you can see my fingerprints through there, so that tells you how well the dough's ready to be worked. You want to flour your rolling pin like I'm doing with flour, and just roll it all the way around and get that flour on there. Once you do that, you're going to start to roll your dough. You start in the center and you push back and forth to smooth it out, and you can go this way, and if it lifts up on you a little, you just put it down. If you need more flour on your rolling pin so it doesn't stick, just keep adding a little flour on it. Take your time. Any rolling pin will do. I happen to have this one here, but if you have a wood one, that's fine too. So then I am going to roll, and you could even push it out like that, your rolling pin, so it doesn't stick. You want to get all those little bumps out of it as much as you can. Now it doesn't have to be a perfect shape of any kind. This is fine. So I'm just going to give you a quick example of this particular project. Sorry. I'm making this guy. Oops. So what I did was I took my little gingerbread guy and I pushed him down. Let's say I'll work over here. I just pushed him down a little bit. I didn't go all the way through because I don't want to cut him out. Then you could take something like, ooh, sorry. You could take something like this and go ahead and cut like a cookie sheet out like this with it. So it gives you nice crisp corners, you know, like a rectangular shape. Then you move the dough away like so. And you simply slide this underneath carefully, and you're pushing it under back and forth until you lift it up like that. And you want to slide it right onto your parchment paper like this. It might be a little tricky, so take your time. It will lose a little shape, but you can reshape it right on the cookie sheet like that. The thing you have to remember, if you're making it like an ornament, take your toothpick and put a circle right in there all the way through and around to create this effect. So that should be with all your pieces that you're making into ornaments or a pendant, like I'm showing here. See the hole? With the toothpick, you'll do that on all your pieces. Okay? So you can take this dough and re-roll it and continue to flour your surface and your rolling pin to create your next piece. You can just have fun playing or kneading it too, but remember, when you leave it out, it will dry hard, so you don't want to do that. You want to work with it, make your pieces, get them on the cookie sheet. Now, when you go to bake that, your art pieces, you need to set your oven at 220 degrees Fahrenheit, and you'll have to have all your pieces ready on the cookie sheet with parchment paper and bake it for 2 hours. That's where you will need the help of your parents on baking. So that concludes my that part of the project. Once your pieces are dry and they're hard, feeling like a rock, and they're white like this, they're ready to be painted. I just use regular acrylic paint. And we'll move the Salto out of here for this part of the project. And I just simply dispensed a little paint on my paper plate. And you can take any size brush you need, wet it a little with water, a paper towel. And I'm just going to show this as an example. I take my paint and I just go ahead and paint my piece. Now you can mix colors depending on what colors you have, but this is acrylic paint. It works great. It dries quickly. But if you want to mix a color, you take this color and the other color and mix them. And make sure you make enough. So say like the gingerbread, I made brown. I mixed my colors to create the brown, and then I painted it. I let them dry, the paint. That doesn't take very long. I'd say about half an hour. And you should touch it, no paint on your finger, you know it's dry. And then you could feed a ribbon through. You knot it here and knot it here, and there you have an ornament. And the pendant, you just knot here and then knot up high enough so it can go around, say, your mom or grandmother's neck for a pendant for, say, Mother's Day, which is this Sunday. So there's some ideas working with the Salto. I hope you had a good time, and remember, be happy and keep creating. This is Miss Kim for now. Bye for now.